I'm back to cast more games. Had a busy week, so I think 2 or 3 games to cast. I think it's just this one for now, because the other ones are expired. Yeah. So I'll be casting an anti-mage game from user Superfresh1989. He sent this to me in a private message, so I don't know if he wants this being aired or not. He hasn't said anything. We're gonna walk right in. What's his name again? Superfresh? See, does he have the same name here? Yes, Super. He's on the dire. I haven't spoiled myself this time. He'll be playing Anti-Mage. Now, Anti-Mage isn't a hero I have too much experience with. I've played him a few times, but I do know the basics. I mean, okay, I know a bit more than that, to be honest, but I can't say I play him at a competent level. I don't carry often, and Anti-Mage isn't really up there in my choices. I've always wanted to go mid Anti-Mage versus Pudge, just like in a low MMR game, but I don't know if that dream will ever happen. So there's been some sort of, I don't know about debate, but over Anti-Mage's item choices lately. I think there's a thread on it, I think like 2 weeks ago or something. People were talking about it, and they mentioned comp scamming. We've been running a sort of finding Anti-Mage with the Vanguard and drums and things, or I don't know about drums, but Vanguard and things. I haven't watched any of their games, to be honest. So I don't know what exactly they do. I just know that they forego the standard Battle Fury build versus the Spectre. This is fucking the pub MMR. It's like the Cold War of hard carries. When someone picks a hard carry, the other team automatically has to pick the same hard carry, which is okay. I mean, it's hard for teams and pubs to like finish games before a carry goes online. Generally, it's not easy to figure out what your window is as a team. Like if you get your 5 random heroes and your 5 random players and can you look at them at a glance and say, okay, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and end the game at 28 minutes or 35 minutes or whatever your window is. Once we have this item, and this item on these heroes, then we can go and just fight them and end the game. It never works like that. There's always someone who just wants to kill, or someone who's tilting and repick Medusa. Okay, so that was a random Medusa. So he doesn't want any of that. Alright, I'm gonna skip through this. Is this if Dire is gonna have the Anti-Mage carry? Anti-Mage versus Spectre, it's whoever has more farm. I can't say who has the bigger advantage there. Wow, someone's flaming already, the Venom. I want to pause here and go over item builds. Now this is a pretty safe-ish build. He looks at their, I'm just gonna say he. Let me refer to him in third person. Give me a free camera, please. Starting with you. Okay, starting with your build. I can't free camera when paused, apparently. I have to unpause, go to free camera, and then redo it. I can't zoom either. Okay, whatever. This is pretty safe. It's not the safest, but you could be... Oh, this is a little greedy, to be honest. But you have good stats in a Quelling Blade. You don't really need to start with a Quelling Blade, but it's fine. They don't have a ranged offlaner, so or hopefully not a ranged offlaner, because I don't think Puck's going to be offlaning. I think he's just going mid to Puck game. And then Venomans are supporting. So it's going to be off lane, probably, I don't know what their lanes are. Are they going to do Jungle Knights? Or are they going to do off lane Knights with a Treant? Off lane Knights with a Venomancer is actually very dangerous. Not for an Anti-Mage, because all they have is slows, but for the Coddle or the... Actually, you have an Abaddon, which means your safe lane is going to be really safe if they decide to do that aggro dual lane. It's hard to tell if this is going to be really aggressive early or really aggressive, you know, pub game. It can go either way.
Obvious to all that this one is in the bag.
Quelling Blade spam. I did the same thing. I just run around cutting down trees. Get that value right. You'll want, on Dire side, you can cut down this tree here for a little juke path. But you are an Anti-Mage, so you blinky blink. I like this anyway. That's my thoughts on the build. it's good. You don't have a ranged offlaner fucking with you, so you can just get a Clan Blade. You don't need to get one early. You could have picked up, I don't know, another set of fingers or something. It doesn't matter. Wow. Tusk off lane. Pretty standard builds on everyone. First with okay, this is greedy. You don't need the stun. I guess this is okay for trading hits, but you don't really need a stun shield. I feel that's just really greedy instead of like sentries or something. But look, hey, guess what? Your camp is blocked, and you have stout shield instead of sentries. Good job. I used to be greedy and not buy sentries sometimes. I always make sure sentries are bought. It's you can lose lane sometimes if you have your camps blocked. Or as a support, it just sucks because you don't have easy pulls, easy experience. Anyway, mage. You didn't get the range creep out in front, but to be honest, the pub game's not a big deal. And it is an off lane. It's the off lane tree and life stealer. But I don't think they can kill either of you, so it's just gonna be a farm fest. You both have similar builds, the Lifestealer and the thing with Lifestealer is that he has sort of like dead zones. I don't know specifically what they are because again, I'm not a Lifestealer or a carry player really. But last hitting under tower is pretty. There's a few dead zones where he can't actually last hit at certain levels and at certain when his last hit his attack damage is at a certain value. So you have to get a Clan Blade pretty much at some point. The lane pushed back in because they let the range creep stack. That's pretty much what's going to happen. Basically, one side is going to let the range creep stack, right? Which is going to start the push. And then it's going to probably start ricocheting back. It's going to start small. Right now, it only went forward about from here to here. From here to here. In case you don't see the cursor too well. And then it pushed it enough, so now it's going to bounce back. Now everyone's shuffling around the creeps, trying to get their range creep to die. It looks like you did first, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna put last hits here. So in this game, you don't have free farm, right? Which is like a pain in the ass. So now your timing's all screwed up of when you're actually gonna get your Battle Fury. If you're going Battle Fury, I don't know yet. But now it's relevancy. It's your farm relevant to the other heroes that are farming. So relevant to the Lifestealer and relevant to the Spectre. The Spectre is actually not having a fun time either. And she went in really greedy build here. I guess she's going for the fast Bassi. But no stats on her. Cool thing about these two heroes is that you don't actually need a third hero, at least in pub games. You don't need the coddle there. He's just going to be a drain on the experience. Maybe a kill for these two if they find him in the jungle while he's pulling. Now, Mage, yeah, second in CS over everyone. The Lifestealer only has 3 CS. And Lifestealer, I wouldn't say he's the best recovery farmer. He farms pretty slow, but he does farm effectively. Like, he doesn't lose HP. He can do it at a steady pace. It's just he doesn't have any wave play or anything like that. He just has to find. He's got to secure himself farm. That is, he either has to win the lane or just abandon and go to the jungle by about the 13-14 minute mark, which is when you might have your Battle Fury. I don't know what the timing's going to be now, considering you have 14 last hits at 4 minutes. Not ideal, but I mean, you're doing the best out of the team, which is what's important. If you're the carry, hopefully you have some sort of line of communication with your offlane to say, hey, you know, especially now that it's dual lanes, like, hey, how's the Spectre's farm? Because you need to keep yourself ahead. Because sometimes, even though your lane might be pushed back or something, you might have to sack just to pull, or pull from here or something like that, or push the wave just to speed up your farm, and then pull to salvage, pull the lane back towards you. And that's when things can get messy if mid decides to gank or things like that. Because, But thankfully you're ahead, so you don't have to play with the lane too hard. You can just keep the status quo going. Spectre did secure some farm. She's kind of catching back up now. She's ahead of their mid, which I don't think should be happening. Well, it's a TA versus Puck. I mean, the Puck can get her last hits, right? Or should be able to, not really. I think you're supposed to go for a null tally in this matchup. Or at least more stats than... this is pretty cheap stats. I guess it's a safer build, but... I'll call a courier anytime soon, TA? TAs are gonna TA. I've seen Pucks win this matchup though. But you really gotta know what you're doing here. Already up to 1500 gold. It looks like a straight Battle Fury rush. I think getting at least boots is fine. Because you need to be able to, if the lane progresses in such a way that you're left alone. Okay, first blood. I'm gonna rewind for that because I think she got died. John's melt strike.
First blood. There's nothing more mysterious until it has been spilled.
I don't know how Puck should play that matchup. I'm not a good player. Actually, I don't play against DA that often. I do play Puck, but not in a while. Ooh, keeping the lights nuke down the... Wow. That's a lot of damage. Mana Leak's so strong now. But yeah, about TA Puck, I don't know how Puck wins that, but I think it's possible. Well, according to high-level theory crafting, I think from Dendi and a few others, I've seen like guides and their commentary on the matchup. So that Puck can win. It's just really hard. You have to use your orb. I think you just gotta battle pull and use your orb just to get like 2 last hits every wave at least. Because you're not gonna get the harassment out of it, so you just need to secure your last hits and just play defensively. And try to keep her refraction down. Her low level refractions, you gotta keep them down all the time. And maybe you can get a kill while I think refraction's level 2 or some shit. I think you can. I don't know about level 3 or level 4. I don't think you can kill her anymore. Unless you have like a Venomancer roaming in. I think Venomancer's pinned down bottom. TA's gonna gank. Uses a TP for the gank. Question. She doesn't have her boots yet. So I don't know how she's ganking without boots. I guess they're flying to her now, but they might miss a window here if she shows the lane. Nothing really to comment top. This is a straight Battle Fury rush. I did say boots first, just because when you're left alone in the lane, you can pull through easier, or just pull and get the pulls off without taking too much, harassment from the creeps. And it just makes you more efficient. Upgrading the treads before Battle Fury, I would do that if I have free farm, I think. Otherwise, I'll just leave them brown.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, it actually depends. Because if you get your Battle Fury fast anyway, then you get treads. But if you're struggling, you might want to just hold on to the boots. It really depends.
Many hands make light work.
Missing top.
This lifestealer's not having fun. 5 last hits though. He's actually dead. So this is actually a pretty hard counter for the lifestealer. Pure physical burst from TA. And he has no way to get through refraction timely, like quickly enough to not be bursted down. Okay, snowballed into Coddle Blast, I'm assuming, judging from the cooldowns. Not even a snowball, looks like. It's just ice shards. So bye bye Venomancer. And Lifestealer is just gonna what, aggro jungle? Because that's what I would do. Just go into their jungle and start fighting creeps. Or go into your jungle, I guess, it's safe. He's wasted about 4 or 5 minutes, like 4 minutes, I think. Just not doing anything. Can you hit a creep, dude? It's actually bothering me. But yeah, your laning, Anti Magus laning was pretty strong this game. But thankfully I had an Abaddon, so I don't think they could kill you even if they tried. No, Lifestealer's gonna take the Spectre's creeps instead of the jungle creeps. He has 2 levels in Feast, that's enough. He can just go jungle. I don't know what he thinks he's gonna do down here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's gonna push. He's gonna sit here, and he waited for passive gold. Now here, as soon as you see the tree end, I think your Abaddon should have left. He didn't need to be here. He could have went bottom because there's most definitely gonna be a bottom, and it's probably gonna be one of those fights, depending on the MMR. Well, actually, all MMRs. It's sort of like whoever brings for these early game fights where everyone has at least level 3. It's whoever brings more retards to the fight, because cooldowns are going to be long, and whoever just has more spells to put on cooldown is going to win the fight generally.
Killing spree. Ownage.
See, I just found the Lifestealer who was not hitting creeps. He actually wasn't. Wait, I gotta see this.
Killing.
Oh, he chased after it. Okay, let's see. Okay, Puck changed his mind. I thought we were ganking the TA, says the Lifestealer. Puck was like, fuck that. I don't want to fuck with the TA. Lifestealer walks past her. She has a haste rune, so you're not killing her even if you get the attack. That's pretty shitty. Now, this treant's probably dead.
You, but it hides
He is pretty quick though, so he managed to do that weird. She can't really commit this way without him running. She just commits that way. And the Tusk and the Toddle die. You could say it was like the Lifestealer's fault for being retarded, but he shouldn't even have been to that fight. I think the Abaddon should have been. There, he's moving now. I guess he's finally got the clue. Now Animage can just do Animage things. You're gonna have Battle Fury pretty fast, actually.
Radiant's middle tower is under
About
attack.
Dire's bottom tower
so you get around like 12.5 minutes, 13 minutes, something like that. The fastest time I think is 10:30, but that's assuming like you get it
tower
last
is
bit.
under attack.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So depending on how many waves of creeps you miss, if you're keeping count in your head, 10:30 is your baseline, right? Just about, right? Like give or take a few seconds or whatever. For every 4 creeps you miss, you add 30 seconds. So if you miss like 8 creeps or you miss like 16 creeps, 16 creeps is an extra 2 minutes, so that'll be... Abaddon died. How did Abaddon die? He shouldn't be dying. Oh, he used his ulti. So they stayed way too long. Oh, that's how he died. She's dead, you just... Why are you walking back in? He doesn't have ulti! He doesn't have ulti! He just committed suicide. He's like, I'm dying from my TA apparently. Okay, that's just a feed. But yeah, every 4 creeps you make 30 seconds. It's pretty much a rule of thumb. And I think the max creeps you could have had, like, I don't know. Also, but tower gold is also, so if early towers are taken, you have to subtract some minutes. I don't know what it is now because they changed it. It used to be like what, like 150 gold or something, or is that what it is now? Puck's not doing shit here. I think even if she dream coils, he just right clicks her. Oh, he doesn't have any. Okay, he didn't get any spell shield, which is fine, to be honest. I didn't talk about skill builds for Animage very much, but generally in pubs, it's the safest bet is you just go mana break early, mana break and blink, exactly what you're doing, with maybe 1 value point in spell shield, and just leave blink at 2, or just mana break at 3. How's it scale? It scales like 12 level, so it doesn't matter. There's no value level for it. Spectre got Tranquils, so she doesn't know what she's doing, and then she picked up the value band of Elven Skin. So there it is, 13-minute Battle Fury. Pretty good. You need boots now, so after you get boots, I think you just go straight to the jungle. Or not straight to the jungle, but basically you're gonna work. Okay, disclaimer, I don't know the most efficient farming routes. If you want efficient farming routes, go watch old Burning games, go watch any sort of high-level ANTI-MAGUS game, because they have the fucking, you know, they have the shit down to a science. I don't. But I'm pretty sure you just work the lane. You push the lane up, and then you go farm these 2 camps. And then you just push the lane up. And then I think once you have treads, you go and you farm just this tri-camp. And pretty much, eventually your farming speed is going to be that you're clearing the entire jungle under 1 minute. So that's when you go down to here. Basically, you clear your jungle, and then in the time you have left for the next minute, you go here, and then you fucking blink across, clear that jungle, go here, and then you go around. But this is assuming you have your team has map control. Which, you know, a lot of the times they don't. You also don't want to start in the middle and then head back. I know it was 14, so I know that it just spawned. But generally you want to start at one side and then move across the other. Otherwise you're wasting time going from here to here and then back. Or back. You're just wasting time. Because that's what ANTI-MAGUS is, this creature of efficiency. That's what he is. So a lot of what I'm talking about is just going to be how efficient you're farming, rather than your decision making and when to take fights and things like that. Because that's a bit easier, isn't it? That's just like intuition. That's knowing. That's what whose cooldowns are off and on, and where everyone is. And if you're ready to fight, like I wouldn't say you're ready to fight. So you're just farming. I also would have considered, if not the boots, picking up the Glove of Haste from the side shop. I don't think he picked it, but then eventually was there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This should be added efficiency. But another rule of thumb is you want to clear your jungle in one path.
My thanks.
And then when it's done, you come back the other way. So if you only have control on your side, you clear your jungle, then you go clear Ancients with, I think it's 2 blinks from here. You go 1 here. You blink, take a few steps, and then you blink here, and then you walk in. I missed the fight, but I'm pretty sure it was just TA doing things. Went back 20 seconds, so it's about 12 seconds.
Killing spree.
Oh, it was actually mid. I thought it was top. Desolate damage, so huge. She also went a similar build, if you went 3 points with a 4-3. She's gonna have no HP, but enough armor, which is pretty okay, because the only magic, I guess Coddle and Tusk have magical nukes, but as long as you can control where they are and know where they are, then you'll be okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now, the downside of ANTI-MAGUS is everyone knows where you are. Everyone knows what the ANTI-MAGUS does, so they know your timings pretty well in terms of what you're capable of and where you are generally on your side of the map. So if any aggressive wards get put down, you might see them. Some supports may try to gank the ANTI-MAGUS. I don't know what MMR this is. But generally in higher level games you get fucked with a lot. Your camps will get blocked even late into the game, 15 minutes and things like that. So that's like an extra, that's like a minus 100 GPM for a few minutes. Which is sometimes enough, since you just, some heroes can farm kind of fast, but not, you know, anyways he's just insane. He's split pushing, I like this. There's no one there to really contest him, because the Puck and the Veno, the scariest hero is going to be the Puck there. And maybe the Treant, but they're both fucked off top. Green threads. Yeah, you can go green threads. If you get them earlier, you probably want to keep them on red for the HP. Generally, you switch to red just to do damage. But yeah, generally when you're farming, more damage is faster farming. You don't really want tankiness. Just really, if you get really fast stuff, blah blah blah, then you want to keep them on red a little bit. When you're taking, when you're doing Ancients, I think you want to keep them red. Unless you get like a Vlad's or something.
Thou art purified.
I would have just broke the shit and ran at him. Look, Tread switch! Tread switch! Oh my gosh. If you threat switching is super important at Anti-Mage. Before every blink, switch to blue, and then switch back to green. You could have killed him if you had switched to blue before the blink, and then you would have had enough for the mana void to break the TP. No big deal though. Fight 1, you killed the puck, right? You can also cut trees down that are in your way. You want straight lines between camps as much as possible. So cutting this tree here,
Radiant's middle tower is
I think
under
you
attack.
misclicked. That's fine. You know what you're doing. Yeah, you walk through. You don't really need to blink. You don't want to. You want to save the mana. Also stacking. If you come to the jungle late, like say 20 or 30 seconds in, and you're clearing the last camp and it's like 54, you just stack it instead of killing it off. Unless you kill it off fast enough, then it doesn't matter. You have your Yasha done. Pretty good. You need to get the Yasha ASAP, just because it helps increase your farming by a lot. Once you can't really let it sit. Okay, there you go. Some people let it sit, you really can't. You should be able to get like 22-minute Manta style, I want to say, 23 minutes, if you keep clearing the jungle as you are, and maybe getting ancients and maybe a kill or two with your ulti. You blink in, ulti, blink out, go back to farming. Pretty much what you want to do. Which I don't think you'll be able to here because you're way too low.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
TA split pushing. TA should have really been here, I think, instead of taking towers. In this game, in any other game where there wasn't an Anti-Mage, TA making that play would be good. But in this one, I think she could have won the fight, which is more important. The Anti-Mage should be the one pressuring lanes and trying to push towers on his own.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He needs to be careful. You're showing in lane with the very low HP. Generally something you don't really want to do because, especially against a Spectre. Haunt's on cooldown, but she's running at you with a haste rune. She thinks you're greedy, but you're not that greedy. She also has a Yasha, but she doesn't have that fury. So you're way ahead on farm. It's just the lanes worked out for you well, and the Lifestealer was an idiot. He should have went to his jungle a lot earlier. Otherwise, he'd be able to put a lot more pressure and probably gain a lead. I think if the Lifestealer had actually maybe gone jungle a lot earlier, and got it in early like phase drums or just like armlet or anything,
Radiant's middle
he would be
tower
putting
is
a lot more
under
pressure on you
attack.
guys right now. But the kill score is kind of even. So they're not doing too bad despite Lifestealer being dead weight. Literally dead weight.
Killing spree.
Because he's trying to recover farm 20 minutes in. This is what I was saying.